What's up, YouTube? Wanted to give you my 2020 final recap of everything that happened on the last day, or just my fishing experience, and including the last day of everything during my FLW tournament, Clearlake, the Toyota Series. So great experience. Encourage anybody that can do it. It's fun. I went in as a non-boater. So, but again, great experience. Learned a lot, and like I said, encourage you guys. Whoever wants to do it, do it. Some advice: give your boater or give your pro cash for gas between 40 and $50. I think is fair. Um, Always have a drop shot and a Senko. Fishing Shasta next year, the 2021 season Toyota Series. I'll be fishing Shasta, Delta, and Clear Lake. Clear Lake, I'll probably go as a boater, but not quite sure. But everything else will be as a non-boater. So let's see. Day one, got up to my hotel, spoke to my boater or to my pro, and went over everything. Told me what to do, what their plan was, and stuff like that. Went and tied everything on, and we met up with him in the morning. We went out and fished, and basically he ended up finding learning when I was telling him that we were third flight. So you get a text message and stuff, and you understand. They tell you what boat number you are, what flight, what time, so on. So I told him that. He's like, "Hey, look. So if that's the case, then my plan has changed." So his plan changed, and we didn't go where he, probably where he really wanted to go. Let me back up a little bit though and say this: if you are going to record, ask for permission. I think that it's just courteous, and always have communication with your pro, because they might not want you to record and show their spots, and probably other stuff as well. So I was able to record, but I'm not going to post those videos, just because there's really nothing to show. So, but yes, that's another advice. Let's see what else. So as I was saying, our plan had changed, and we were fishing, and he caught. We went to this area, and he ended up telling me there was a cold front that came in that morning. Right now we're having colder mornings, warmer afternoons. So, and it's just been fish, a lot of pressure, and all this other stuff. So, anyways, so he's dragging a jig, and bam, 5 pounder. Does it again. Not too long, like maybe 20 minutes later, bam, catches another one. So he's like, perfect, this will be good. Now keep in mind, when we first started fishing, we fished a rocky bank and used square bill and stuff, and really, I didn't catch anything, but he was catching a bunch of small ones, and then we left and whatnot. So, um, so day two, everything was great, great pro. Uh, Told me a lot, educated me on a lot of stuff. So it was a fun day. Caught my first fish, I think at 11 something. Caught my second fish at like 1 something. I had two fish for 5.14 pounds. Not the greatest, but it is what it is. I will say this: if you go as a if you're gonna go as a non-boater, as a co, um, then you need to communicate where you can cast, because if you are a boater, if you are normally used to manning your own boat and casting out in front and all this other stuff, throw that all out the window, because you're not going. It makes it really hard. And on top of that, I've heard a lot of horror stories from people, about co's, trying to outfish their, the pro and this and that, and get on their stuff, and it's just becomes a mess. I didn't want to do that. This is my first time. I really wanted to learn and watch, and I kind of did that. I did some of that. I did want to try, but definitely wanted to watch and see what they were doing. Uh, so again, just know that you're not going to be able to cast up to the front of the boat. You can cast to the side and stuff. And if you need to cast somewhere, ask, say, because then there was a lot of times where my pro was casting to the left, and I know I couldn't get that far. I couldn't cast really up there where they were going. So, I was trying different techniques, but then I wanted to cast, I asked, can I cast out in front of the boat, but on the other side? And they said, sure, not a problem. So that was nice. So I was able to do that. But again, just keep in mind you are limited to where you can cast because your pro is pretty much has the whole front. Make sure you read the rules too of any tournament, so you are aware of the guidelines when fishing one of these tournaments. I'm not going to go into them, but there's a lot of stuff. Okay, and 7 rods. You can have 7 rods, so it kind of keeps you limited. You don't want to bring a lot of tackle and all this other stuff. You want to keep everything minimal, and it says it in the rules to do that. So that's another thing. Keep it simple. So something top water, something mid, and something bottom. You do that, you should be okay. No matter probably what time of the year it is. So day two, spoke to my person, to my boater, or to my pro, and told me, hey, we're gonna fish shallow, and do some jerk bait, some top water, some punching, some flipping, frogging, kind of So more of a power fisherman. The first day was more of a finesse, so. And to be honest, I'm more finesse than power. I can do power. I'm not a fast power fisherman. I'm more, I'll probably, if I'm going down the bank, probably between like 5 and 7. Covering water, power fishing. But I'm more, just steady moving, fan cast, stuff like that. More finesse. So, anyways, uh, you know, uh, talk to my second day pro and tells me everything's going to go on. So we go down there, so we meet up and everything like that. Nice guy, ex-military as well. So, talking about stuff and so on. We get out there and start fishing. And this guy, he can, oh man, I was amazed by how far he can cast this jerkbait. I mean, this guy casted jerkbait like a mile. I was like, wow, this dude really casts. Like, what setting you got your bait caster on? But he was able to throw that thing out there, and then he would troll back or troll to where uh, troll up to his bait. That's the word I want to say. So he wants to troll up to his bait. So I would say probably about 90% of the time, maybe 85-90% of the time, the guy was on his trolling motor. Speed would be 10. And he's just covering waters, fast fisherman, power, stuff like that. And that's not my style. So if I would have had those 3 top, middle, and bottom bait, if I would have had those with me, I probably would have done better, but I didn't. And I couldn't fish that way. That's just not the way I fish. And I can't, and on top of that, I can't cast in front of the boat. So, me trying to, either jerk, and plus the baits I had weren't going down, even though he mentioned shallow, I was staying shallow like, 3 to 4 feet. And, he was like, I think we stayed anywhere between 2 to 10 sometimes, but most of all the fish were between 10 and probably 20 feet, chasing bait. So he had a jerk bait, he had a Vision 1, or a Vision +1, a 110 +1, I believe it was, or a +2, but I think it was a +1, and he could get it down there. I didn't have that bait, so I couldn't get it down there, and I didn't really have anything. I tried to jack a jig at times, but again, just going too fast. So, long story short, guy power fished the whole time. Jerk bait, whopper plopper, college fine at last fish, like at the last minute on a whopper plopper. He had 5 fish. I think it was like 13 pounds or something. I caught no fish, and and that's fine. I mean, I still got to watch him do his thing, which was pretty. It was interesting and pretty amazing. I mean, this guy, he has his technique down. He can fish fast, efficient, effective. Going 10 and stuff, and that's just not me. I'm not there. But I will say this: if you're going to boat, or if you're going to go in as a co, definitely look at equipment, stuff like that. There was times where we would get, he had to do something, we get pushed into the toolies, and just because he didn't have spot lock, we get pushed to toolies, so I really couldn't fish where I wanted to fish. Just made it a little bit difficult for me. So just keep an eye on like the equipment, so you can prepare yourself if things happen like that. You know what to expect, and you know how you can find a solution how to put not be in that situation. Um, what else? Again, the whole tournament was fun. Had a great time. Got to see all these big pro guys and stuff like that. Didn't really get to everything's going so fast on the docks and everything, getting weigh in and stuff. You don't really get to talk to a lot of people. And I was pretty much reserved and kind of kept to myself just a little bit, just kind of wanted to watch everybody and see how everybody acted and how it was. And it's really no different than a club tournament, weighing in and stuff like that. I mean, there's some people that know each other. There's some that just meeting people, so I mean, you have those groups, I guess. um, Very well organized event, bringing up the fish, keeping water, oxygen, stuff like that. And yeah, so, I mean, I don't, you know, really, I will say this. These are some things I will say that I've learned in regards to sport. And then I'm just going to talk about the sport just in general, bass fishing. One, I respect the sport. I respect anybody that does it because it's definitely tough. I've been an athlete, played basketball, football, did a bunch of stuff, taekwondo, all this other stuff, growing up, and I can tell you what, bass fishing is way more difficult because you're going against the animal. You're not going against another person where you can impose your will, strength, or whatnot on somebody else. Here, you can't really do that on a bass, So you definitely have to know basically kind of like migration patterns, what's going to happen during the seasons, all this. It's just a lot of that stuff, and you got to know this. The other thing is that bass fishermen are, no disrespect to bass fishermen, but they're all liars. And no, I won't say all of them, but I would say lying is encouraged. I'll just say that. I won't say all of them are lies, but lying is encouraged in this sport because people don't want to put in the work to go find their own water. And in serious bass fishermen that do this for a living have no respect. In my opinion, I think they have no respect and they have no patience for those type of people. And they don't like people that are always trying to get on their water. The less people that are on your water, the better chance you have of catching good fish. So, I definitely respect that. It taught me a lot of stuff as well, as to, not really share my information when I find something because, people can go up there and go fish it. And I've actually seen it in the club. I've talked to people and people go run up there and just kill the water. So it's just one of those things. Just if you're going to go fish and you're trying to make big money and trying to get high up in the circuits and stuff, just be quiet and don't share your water. If you're going to take pictures of what you caught, maybe I've seen people black out their surroundings, stuff like that. So definitely do that. I know for me, I'm not trying to ask people where they fish. Might ask, say, hey, what'd you catch them on, or something like that. But I'm not gonna really ask for you. I never wanted to know anybody's spots anyway. I'm having fun finding my own water and exploring and stuff like that. So my advice to you, if you have a boat and you're able to do that, go find your own water. I mean, I have a family, 3 kids, like at work, so I don't get that much time to get on the water. But when I do, I try to maximize the time that I do on the water and trying to find areas. I also use a map, to find water that I want to see might be good, whatnot. So those are things. Maximize your time while you're on the water. Uh, what else in regards to this sport? Um, Again, much respect for it. All the gentlemen, all the pros, male, female, all you guys that put the time in on this. This is a sport that is unlike anything I've ever had to that I've participated in, and I'm having a great time doing it because it's something that I'm learning. So, this is my 5th or 6th year, I think, of actually being into bass fishing, and I'm just now getting up to like participating in FLW and stuff like that. So, again, I want to say had a great time at the 2020 FLW Toyota Series at Clearlake. my boaters or my pros, day one and day two, great guys. Had a lot of fun. Got to learn a lot. Great conversations, stuff like that. And again, with the sport, much respect to this sport, and much respect to all you bass fishermen that are doing this either recreationally, or just as a pro that actually take this serious. So I'll put it that way, that are putting the time on the water and doing that and cashing checks and stuff like that. So I'm trying to take that advice that people have given me and apply it, and hopefully it works out, and I can catch some good checks and get some more hardware. So if you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video. Hopefully I've given you enough information to, when you do the FLW, you have something to remember. Pay your co between 40 and 50 bucks. Communication is a big thing, and also carry three baits, top, middle, and bottom. So and take this sport, definitely respect the sport as well. So with that being said, hope you guys have a good one, and talk to you on the next video.